Imagine stepping into a cave so dark that the only light comes from a flickering torch, revealing figures painted tens of thousands of years ago. You see humans hunting, animals in motion, mysterious handprints pressed into the stone, and abstract symbols whose meanings are lost to time. These aren't just pictures, they are whispers from our ancestors, messages across millennia, a glimpse into the minds of people who, like us, thought, dreamed, and felt deeply. Our story begins with the earliest forms of visual storytelling, a way for humans to capture not just survival, but imagination. One of the most groundbreaking discoveries comes from Indonesia's Sulawesi Island, where recently uncovered cave paintings depict hunting scenes with human-like figures and native animals. At first glance, they might seem simple. But look closer. The figures are not merely hunters, they are characters in a drama, moving, interacting, existing within a story. This art tells us something extraordinary. Early humans were already thinking symbolically, understanding narrative, and expressing ideas beyond mere survival. And Indonesia is just the beginning. Across the globe, prehistoric art reveals astonishing complexity. In Bulgaria's Mura cave, the walls are alive with vivid depictions of deer, goats, and long-extinct creatures like the woolly rhinoceros. Painted in rich reds, blacks, and whites, these animals were not sketched casually. Each stroke conveys movement, proportion, and intent. These paintings serve a dual purpose. They are both masterpieces and historical records, showing what life was like in the Ice Age while hinting at the spiritual significance these animals held. Spain challenges our understanding of who could create art. In caves such as La Paraga, paintings dated over 64,000 years ago suggest that Neanderthals, long thought incapable of abstract thought, engaged in symbolic art before Homo sapiens arrived. These early creations are deliberate yet simple, indicating abstract reasoning and cultural transmission. Suddenly, Neanderthals are not just brutish hunters, they are thinkers, dreamers, participants in a cultural tradition of creativity that reshapes our understanding of human evolution. Further west, France's Chauvet Cave offers another breathtaking revelation. Lions, mammoths, and horses leap from the walls in such dynamic poses that the images seem to move, almost animated. These depictions suggest not only incredible technical skill but also reverence. The animals are more than prey, they are sacred, central to rituals, myths, and perhaps even cosmological beliefs. This sense of awe transcends the purely practical and enters the spiritual, a recurring theme in cave art worldwide. Crossing continents, Argentina's Cave of Hands shows 9,300-year-old handprints created by blowing pigment over outstretched fingers, forming negative space. These aren't individual expressions, they are collective, communal acts. Each handprint represents presence, belonging, identity. The technique itself shows deliberate artistic intention and a desire to leave a mark in a transient world. In India, the Bhimbetka rock shelters reveal a timeline of artistic evolution spanning tens of thousands of years. Early paintings of animals and hunts evolve into abstract symbols and geometrical patterns, tracing the growth of cognition, spirituality, and social cohesion. These shelters were more than homes, they were hubs for storytelling, ritual, education, and cultural transmission. Even Brazil holds its own treasures. The Serra de Capivara National Park boasts over 30,000 rock paintings, some nearly 20,000 years old. One figure gazes at the stars, hinting at early astronomical curiosity and a spiritual bond with the cosmos. Here, art is not just a reflection of daily life, it is an exploration of existence itself, a dialogue with the world above and beyond. Portable art adds another fascinating layer. Engraved stones from the Nilgiris Hills and other remote regions were small, transportable, and intricately carved. These items suggest a shared symbolic language across vast distances. Symbols traveled with nomadic peoples, connecting dispersed groups and reinforcing social cohesion. But what about the people who created these masterpieces? For a long time, researchers assumed adult males were the primary artists, depicting hunting feats or spiritual visions. Yet studies analyzing handprints and fingerprints reveal a far more inclusive picture. Women, adolescents, and even children actively contributed, showing that art was a communal practice. It was a medium for social bonding, education, and cultural continuity, not just elite expression. The cave spaces themselves were often chosen with intention. Paintings placed deep inside caves, in darkness and narrow recesses, suggest ritualized activity, possibly limited to shamans or elders. Some caves even exhibit unusual acoustic properties. Researchers found that certain frequencies reverberate through these spaces, indicating that sound, drumming, chanting, singing, may have been part of the artistic and ritual experience. Art was not merely visual, it was multisensory performance, a precursor to theater or immersive ritual. Symbols and abstract shapes recur across continents: dots, spirals, zigzags. While their exact meanings remain unknown, these patterns hint at early forms of communication, counting, or calendar systems tied to lunar cycles, seasons, or tribal identity. These abstractions demonstrate cognitive flexibility and the ability to encode meaning in sophisticated ways long before formal writing existed. Modern technology has revolutionized our understanding of cave art. Ultraviolet and infrared imaging can reveal pigments invisible to the naked eye, uncovering corrections, hidden layers, and underlying sketches. Digital scanning and 3D imaging allow us to reconstruct the creative process of ancient artists, revealing dynamic canvases revisited over generations. These are living archives, documenting evolving beliefs, environmental shifts, and intercultural interactions. The placement of art within a cave also carried meaning. Paintings near entrances might have been public, displayed for ceremonies or seasonal gatherings. Deep recesses offered secrecy and sacredness. Crawling into tight, pitch-black spaces to leave a mark was a ritual itself, a journey from the physical into the spiritual, connecting humans to forces beyond sight and touch. Animals dominate much of prehistoric art, not just as hunted prey but as spiritual entities. Bison, mammoths, lions, and horses were central to mythology, fertility, strength, and transformation. Some paintings reflect hunting magic, a belief that depicting animals could ensure a successful hunt. Others depict the mystical, theanthropes, half-human, half-animal figures bridging the physical and metaphysical worlds. These images suggest a rich spiritual imagination, a shared worldview linking humans and animals cosmologically as well as ecologically. Prehistoric art reveals an extraordinary interplay between cognition, creativity, and community. The repetitive abstract symbols, hand stencils, and geometric patterns reflect intentional design, social signaling, and even proto-scientific thinking. They show that humans were not passive observers of the world, they were actively mapping, interpreting, and participating in it. The universality of cave art is staggering. From Spain's Altamira to Australia's Kakadu, evidence shows that both Homo sapiens and their cousins, Denisovans and Neanderthals, engaged in symbolic behavior. Artistic impulse was not a sudden European innovation, it was a global, gradual development, an inherent human trait. Preservation has become urgent. Fragile caves are threatened by climate change, tourism, and human interference. Sites like France's Chauvet Cave are closed to the public, with replicas created to protect the originals. Ethical stewardship ensures these voices from the past remain accessible, offering lessons for generations to come. Indigenous communities increasingly play a vital role, reclaiming these sites as part of their heritage and enriching interpretation with traditional knowledge. Ultimately, cave art speaks to an enduring human truth, the drive to communicate, to express, to understand, and to connect. Long before cities, writing, or modern tools, humans were asking the same questions we ask today: who are we? Where do we come from? What lies beyond? These ancient marks, animal hunts, handprints, symbols, are not just artifacts. They are mirrors, reflecting our hopes, fears, dreams, and creativity. Step into a prehistoric cave, and you are not just an observer, you are part of a conversation across time. The flicker of torchlight illuminates more than pigment on stone, it illuminates the human soul. In these caves, the silent whispers of our ancestors become a chorus. Their lives, their beliefs, their imagination reach out to us, reminding us that art is not a luxury, it is a defining characteristic of being human. Even in the darkness, there is light. Even in silence, there is song. Even in stone, there is life. These ancient artists may be gone, but their visions remain, eternal and resonant, urging us to listen, to imagine, and to continue the story they began tens of thousands of years ago. They remind us that creation is not just a reflection of the world, it is a declaration of who we are, a bridge between past and present, and a beacon guiding us into the unknown future.